Okay. So this is the recording for the lab assignment of November 12th, November 13th, sorry. So this is just a YouTube tryout video where we'll be presenting 3 different topics. Yeah. So my topic is the circuit breaker design pattern. So it's common for software systems to make remote calls to software running in different processes, probably on different machines across a network. And one of the big differences between in-memory calls and remote calls is that the remote calls can fail or hang without a response until some timeout limit is reached. What's worse is if you have many callers on an unresponsive supplier, then you can run out of critical resources, leading to cascading failures across multiple systems. So in this presentation, we'll be discussing the circuit breaker pattern, which has been popularized by Michael Nygaard in his book Release It. So the basic idea behind the circuit breaker is very simple. You wrap a protected function call in a circuit breaker object, which monitors for failures. Once the failures reach a certain threshold, the circuit breaker trips and all further calls to it are returned with an error, without the protected call being made at all. Usually you'll want some kind of monitor to alert if the circuit breaker trips. So this is the example of a circuit breaker where the client uh, sends a call to the server through the circuit breaker. And if there's an event such as a network failure, so the circuit breaker trips and then sends a generic error message back to the client. So for we can so here's an example in Ruby. So the breaker stores the block, initializes various parameters, and resets the breaker into its closed state. So calling the circuit breaker will call the underlying block if the circuit is closed, but return an error if it's open. If we get a timeout, we increment the failure counter. Successful calls reset the timer back to counter back to 0. So yeah, here the state of the breaker is determined comparing the failure count to the threshold. So this simple circuit breaker avoids making the protected call when the circuit is open, but would need an external intervention to reset it when things are well again. This is a reasonable approach. For example, in circuit breakers and for electrical circuits, but in for software systems, we can have the breaker itself detect if the underlying calls are working again. We can implement this self-resetting behavior by trying the protected call again after a suitable interval and resetting the breaker if it succeeds. So this is the 3-stage circuit breaker. So you have the 3 states: open, half open, and closed. So open means that everything is going as planned. Now, if there's a failure, the failure counter is incremented, and if it reaches a certain threshold, it goes into the half open state. No, sorry, the open state. Now, after a certain time, the circuit breaker will try to pass calls to the server after some time. And then if it succeeds, the counter will be set back to 0, and the circuit breaker will go back to the closed state.
Okay.
Creating this kind of breaker means adding a threshold for trying the reset and setting up a variable to hold the time of the last error. So there is now a third state present, meaning the circuit is ready to make a real call as trial to see if the problem is fixed. If this trial call succeeds, it will, when the trial call is sent, it will either reset the breaker if it is successful or restart the timeout if not.
Right.
So this is a really simple explanation of a circuit breaker. In practice, it would circuit breakers provide a bit more features and parameterization. So often they will protect against a range of errors that protected call could raise, such as network connection failures. Not all errors should trip the circuit. Some should reflect normal failures and be dealt with as part of the logic. With lots of traffic, you can have problems with many calls just waiting for the initial timeout. Since remote calls are often slow, it's often a good idea to put each call on a different thread using a future or promise to handle the results when they come back. By drawing these threads from a thread pool, you can arrange for the circuit to break when the thread pool is exhausted. So the example I've shown is a circuit breaker for synchronous calls, but circuit breakers are also useful for asynchronous communication. A common technique here is to put all requests on a queue, which the supplier consumes at its speed, a useful technique to avoid overloading servers. In this case, the circuit breaks when the queue fills up. Also, on their own, circuit breakers help reduce resources tied up in operations which are likely to fail. You avoid waiting on timeouts for the client, and a broken circuit avoids putting load on a struggling server. I talk here about remote calls, which are a common case for circuit breakers, but they can be used in any situation where you want to protect parts of a system from failures in other parts. Okay, so breakers on their own are valuable, but clients using them need to react to breaker failures. As with any remote invocation, you need to consider what to do in case of failure. Does it fail the operation you're carrying out, or are there workarounds you can do? So for example, a credit card authorization could be put on a queue to deal with later. Failure to get some data may be mitigated by showing some stale data that's good enough to display. Yeah, that's it. I'm done with my topic.
Okay, so I'll go now. I'll start sharing my screen.
1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start.
Just a minute. I'll have to quit the meeting to start this. Hello?
Yeah.
I'll have to quit.
Yeah.
Have you started?
Yeah.
Yeah. So has anybody of you have watched The Office?
No.
Seen some YouTube videos.
Okay. Which one is your favorite character from the videos which I've seen?
I don't remember the characters actually.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
the bald guy in the back, yeah.
The Kevin, this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. So this is my kind of a tribute to the show. So the home screen, I've given the links to Amazon Prime. The show. Unfortunately, we have to buy the series in US to watch. And in product section, there are multiple subsections like men's. We go to this product, go to products, we see the recently viewed product, which was one of the part of our assignment, lab activity. Does anybody like bobbleheads?
Sorry?
Does anybody like bobbleheads?
Mobile head. Oh yeah, bobbleheads. Okay. Yeah. We used to get at McDonald's.
Yeah. So I had one of it. I had a white one, but I had to keep it in India.
Okay.
And then Yeah, the recent news about the office. I guess there was a office reunion, just like the friends reunion, which happened online. Then obviously I have not updated in this. Then about the company, then contact us, check our website user. We put in our username and password. We log in. We can search by name. I guess I'll search my name first. We get in tabular format. Did you finish the most viewed part of this assignment?
Yeah, last 5 most viewed products. 5 most viewed products.
Okay. I did not do that part actually. So this is kind of what I've done in the lab activities, and yeah, that's about it for now. If you have any questions, go ahead.
No questions. I mean, where is the user registration? Okay, you should just show that.
User registration, I've not put it in this. Actually, it was not the
Okay.
part of our lab activities, so I've not put it in. I want to put it in. I'll do it later.
I mean, entering users into database, that one is
Oh,
there,
okay.
right?
Oh, yeah. That part is there. Sorry, that part is there.
Yeah, right.
Just a minute. We'll do that and check. Search. Add user. Let's put in worship. Worship.
Sorry.
Mail.com. Add home address. What's the home address? Whatever. Count.
Yeah, just enter something.
So user is added successfully. You can find worship. Home. You can find it by home address. So we got it. Got the data. This was the one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other questions, or we can move to the next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop sharing.
Make Varshit host now.
Why is it not going there? Okay. Yes, done.
Okay, got it. Okay. In this presentation, I would like to discuss about big data. What is it and what are the advantages? I found an article on indiansoftware.com, which has 10 advantages of big data usage in application development. I felt this is important because of the increase of metrics analysis and huge amounts of data being generated from day to day. So what initially is big data? Big data, as from Wikipedia, we can see the big data is a field that treats ways to analyze extract information or otherwise deal with data sets that are too large or complex to be dealt with by the earlier used traditional data processing software. Data with many fields offer greater statistical power, while data with more complexity may lead to a higher false discovery rate. Big data analysis challenges include capturing data, data storage, data analysis, searching, sharing, transfer, visualization, querying, etc., etc. So, big data is associated with three main concepts that every engineer must know when going into big data studies. The first one is volume, the amount of data. The second one is variety, the types of data that we are going to analyze. And the third one is the velocity, the speed and the traffic of data. Yeah. So in this article, we can see big data services provide businesses with an opportunity to gain insights that help them make better decisions and improve operations and overall performance. This is the importance of big data in day-to-day businesses. Today, organizations have access to a wide range of data from different sources and customer touch points. Yes, that we can see mainly e-commerce websites generating huge amounts of data. The resulting big data offers many opportunities for businesses and professionals who have the right tools to collect and extract the valuable information. Okay, let's see the advantages. This is the first advantage. It helps, it's a generic advantage. It helps the businesses to understand a wide range of metrics that eventually helps in improving the overall performance and ROI, return on investment. Generally, a lot of work goes into making a website successful, unlike a few years back when visitors were more attracted by design in terms of user interface responsivity. Today's users are looking for more functionality, speed, and ease of use and other issues. For example, as we can see, there was an fact that Amazon lost 10% of its customers because of milliseconds delay in order processing. So here comes the big data querying and its processing speed into account. We have to take into account. Okay, the next advantage is that we gain insights into website performance. Businesses that analyze the data are able to get useful insights about their operations, market, audience, and more. In e-commerce website, the big data analysis shows where potential customers are coming from, where they are purchasing, and what is causing some of them stop in the middle of transactions or abandon the cart. Like we get the metrics that shows the customer behavior. Most visitors will leave a website within a few seconds due to slow speed, poor user interface, or experience difficulties navigating certain pages and other design issues. The Amazon example that I have said before. Okay, with the right data or metrics, it becomes easier to identify problems and give the developer or the designer with an opportunity to make it better. So this another advantage is designed for better engagement. The website layout, organization, and how it presents the data and other information influences the amount of traffic and engagement. So the metrics can be presented properly and quickly. That is the one of the benefit of big data. Other information from big data includes visits from search engines, device visitors to used to access the website, how long they stay on the site, pages they access, etc. All these metrics. The third one is improve search results. Designers can use big data to see how much the search engines are bringing to the site. In addition, adding an inbuilt search bot allows the designer to see what visitors are searching for. Okay, next, big data is also helpful in increasing the website traffic. Traffic analysis establishes the performance of individual pages in terms of getting traffic. It shows which pages are being most visited, and user can make or developer can make decisions regarding that. The traffic analysis tools can even compare traffic in competitors' websites and allow a designer to see what is attracting people to other websites and what is the mistake that they are doing with their own web applications. Okay, the next one is improves the overall performance and reduces cost. For example, in an e-commerce website that sells products online, multiple advertising models may be in place. And sorry. Analyzing the conversions and other information will help determine which method is working and what doesn't. For example, some ad platforms are not delivering, an organization can reduce the amount of money on them and increase on those that are helping to sell more products. As we can see in this case, another advantage is we can try different approaches. The big data does not provide a straightforward solution, but rather allows organizations or individuals to extract valuable information. Website designers can use this information to understand the market and audience and hence improve the website, boost traffic and engagement. So most of them are similar advantages. However, it may be required testing different approaches and reviewing the impact until you get it right. So when coming to the end, make the website compliant. The website must comply with wide range of local and international regulations and also the privacy guidelines such as the EU guidelines, European Union guidelines, GDPR. When a website is based in a different region, metrics from the big data will show if there are visitors and customers from the European Union. This enables the designer to make the necessary changes. What can you learn other than website design? Your data should be one of the major components that drive business decisions in almost any industry. Organization can rely on metrics and adjust themselves to improve productivity. In the medical industry, the data comprising medical patient history, residential age, family, etc., helps in determining the best care and course of treatment. So it can be used in every field. Coming to conclusion, big data enables the designers to develop websites that are more engaging and effective in delivering useful information to the users. So businesses must include that in their website design. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. I'm stopping recording now.